When I was 9 years old, I asked my parents for an allowance. Since I'd been diligently feeding the cats, they agreed, and we settled on $3 a week, payable on Fridays. The first Friday rolls around, and I am so excited. We're sitting at the dinner table, and my dad slowly pulls out a crisp $2 bill, and then a stack of 4 quarters. Then he takes out these 2 plastic yogurt cups with Sharpie on them. One of them says family, the other one, charity. Dad, what's with the cups? My parents calmly explained to me that out of every paycheck come certain contributions. And that from my $3 allowance, 25 cents was going to a family tax, and 25 cents was going to charity. Oh, 9-year-old Alexis was pissed. I had done all of the calculations, and it was now going to take literally forever for me to buy my summer pass to the amusement park. So as you can imagine, this was my first taste of the frustrations of personal finance. As we all know, this really pales in comparison to what a lot of people face on this front. People rank money-related concerns as worse than death, and just behind being alone for the rest of your life. And maybe it's no wonder when we look at it and we find out that almost half of Americans don't have $400 in case of an emergency. And some people really can't make this math work. But I know a lot of highly educated, highly motivated people with resources who still seem to make irrational decisions about their money. I've spent the past 7 years working with people who know a lot about how you and I manage our finances. I was at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau in DC, doing strategy consulting for big retail banks, and most recently at a consumer fintech. And even in these environments, I came across people who made irrational decisions. One day, I asked my teammate, what about his money habits? He's an expert in helping banks manage risk and plan for the long term. He let me know all his savings in a checking account, earning 0 interest. There's got to be something deeper going on here. The solution, I argue, is to start from psychology, not from spreadsheets. Taking a psychology-first approach to personal finance gives me hope that we can each learn to better manage our own money and also change the way that we as a society talk about personal finance. So how can we make this happen? I've come up with 3 steps that I'm going to share with you today. So, step 1, understand your personal financial psychology. A few examples of what this could look like. As millennials, we're investing a lot less in the stock market than previous generations. And experts say we may have developed risk aversion from growing up during the recession. People from poorer households may have a scarcity mindset, which can come from having grown up in an environment where money is uncertain. And so you end up spending more than you should be saving. Personally, I come from a house that kept spending and personal finance top of mind, as you may have gotten from that yogurt cup bit. So this, unfortunately, can have its own ramifications. And 2 weekends ago, I was up in San Francisco, and I walked half a mile in 5-inch heels instead of paying $5 for parking. This is something I'm working on. So where are you coming from, and what does that lead you to do today? Step 2, implement a system to counteract those tendencies. Here at the GSB, we talk a lot about culture building, about setting up incentives for our teams. I'm saying we should do the same for ourselves. And there's a lot of great, new, innovative tools out there that can help with this. But they only help when you start from where you are and build a system around that. So for example, if it's risk aversion, you can outsource your investing activity to a robo-advisor who can take that accountability off of your plate and make you feel more comfortable. If the issue is a scarcity mindset, instead, you can use an app that will help you with different saving activity, like rounding up your purchases to the nearest dollar and setting aside that extra change into a savings account. One thing we can all benefit from is finding ways to associate our financial chores with positive experiences and with rewards. So every month, I get a calendar alert that says, Adventure Fund. And there's just a bunch of exclamation points over here and like maybe a few emojis. And this is my alert to move my extra cash from my checking account into a high interest savings account so that I can earn a few extra points of interest on money that would be sitting around anyway. By finding a way to take this financial chore and associate it with something I love, with travel, with the feelings I'm going to have when I actually get to use that savings, I get to move that future feeling of reward to the present. Systems are the ways that we can actually build habits. It's the ways that we can end up sticking to our goals. And through automation and association with positive feelings and rewards, we can actually end up changing our behaviors. Which leads me to step 3. You have this system, now what? Share it. A whopping 43% of Americans don't know how much money their spouse makes. Think about that. How are we supposed to plan for shared futures when we don't have this information? How are our loved ones supposed to hold us accountable to our goals? How can we help the people we care about in our lives? We're taking classes right now on accounting and finance. We're making these huge decisions about taking on debt, about what career we're going to have, what implications that's going to have for our salaries. And yet, none of us are talking about money. Even if you're in a good place with this, I guarantee you someone close to you is sitting here with a really bad pit in their stomach. And we all have a responsibility to change the ways that we talk about money, to take away the shame from that conversation. So, if you've recently gone through a salary negotiation, you can help someone else get a raise. If you've got a great system for your savings, you can help someone else get over that hurdle. If you just start talking about money, you can welcome someone else who needs help to do the same. Tackling these 3 steps, understand your personal financial psychology, implement a system to counteract those tendencies, and share it, will empower each of us to live better financial lives and change the ways that we, as a society, approach money. I care way too much about my friends and family to let them struggle unnecessarily with their finances. So you can bet someday I'm going to tax my own kids' allowance. And by that point, it'll probably be more like $1 instead of 25 cents. So I'll pay it forward with a little lesson about inflation.